Reality for the real. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Like I told you, I'm doing a different format today. Well, not really, just adding on. Doing 3 videos, one political, one sports. Let's call the other entertainment. Today, this video, we're going to get into the Lamar Jackson Hall of Fame discussion. For all my sports fans, I don't know. 2 MVPs with a 1-3 playoff record. I mean, your playoff record is very important when you talk about Hall of Fame status. Have we ever had a 2-time MVP never be a Hall of Famer though? But also, every 2-time MVP Hall of Famer that we had, I think they at least won one Super Bowl. I have to look that up. Let's hear what Chris and Raw got to say about it.
He leads, heads off, I guess, Rob, the all-pro team in the NFL, and he is the first-team quarterback. No surprise there because he is likely to be voted the MVP, almost certainly going to be voted the MVP. Dak Prescott, second team, and Brock Purdy actually received, Brock Purdy and is it Dak Prescott got
right,
two first-place votes. Josh Allen got one. I'm sorry. I think Josh Allen is one of the best quarterbacks in the league. I don't know how he got a first-place vote. But anyway, that's how it went. So Dak was second team. But Lamar Jackson, Rob, got 45 of possible 50 votes. And so what I want to ask you, we both think he will win the MVP. You actually, to your credit, did pick him to be the MVP in your preseason. He was your pick, and you'll be right about that. Do you think he will be a unanimous MVP, which is big because only 2 people have done it? Tom Brady did it in 2010, and Lamar Jackson did it in 2019. He became the youngest ever to do it at age 23. But do you think he'll become the first ever to do it twice?
I think he will be unanimous. I think this indication, Chris, because remember we saw something like this too when it was Tom Brady and Ryan. It wasn't unanimous, but this vote kind of gives you a look at, what's probably going to happen. And I think people really saw, and I think what's going to be the difference for a lot of people was the big performance against the 49ers on Christmas night. I think that sealed it for him, Chris. Even people who are still trying to be on the fence about him and his impact, even though we've talked about it and the teams that they've beaten, all the good teams, won by 2 touchdowns or more, right? I think they were 7-1 against those teams. Just the phenomenal games against them. But that was the showdown. I think that's when Lamar secured it, and he would be unbelievable. You talked about the other thing, that he already won it unanimous once, Chris, but if he's able to do that twice, and that would be 2 MVPs.
I was just looking at Jackson number, 3,600 yards passing, 24 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, QBR rating 61.1. That seemed like it's low. Pretty good numbers though. 3,600 yards, 24 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. That's a good touchdown interception ratio. I think that 2023 season will have an asterisk mark on it because, really all these quarterbacks played mediocre. I thought Jackson had lower passing yards than that. But that ain't even 4,000 yards passing. Like, when the last time we seen a MVP throw for under 4,000 yards? So I think that he is the MVP. I mean, I have to see him play a little bit more in the playoffs. I have to see him win a little bit in the playoffs for me to just say he's a surefire Hall of Famer. But right now he's on the trajectory. He's definitely on the trajectory to be a Hall of Famer. You know, like if he win the Super Bowl this season, I told somebody I'd be talking to about football, if he wins the MVP this season, then I'm definitely gonna put him among the top 15 quarterbacks, and I definitely think he should be a Hall of Famer.
Unanimous before age 27. That's incredible. You're rewriting the history books. I mean,
Well, what it may do, and I mean, a lot of times you can be on a trajectory. You know, I used to say that Russell Wilson was on a Hall of Fame trajectory and felt confident that he would be a Hall of Famer.
well, especially because he had a Super Bowl under his belt. Too,
right. And then obviously he had a huge drop off when he went to Denver. So bad, and he's not like old, too old. It was so bad that it probably took him off of that Hall of Fame trajectory. Lamar, Rob, if he's the
I just wanted to quickly put in there. Lamar Jackson rushed for 821 yards, so I mean, damn, they're not 1,000 yards rushing, 3,600 yards passing. Like, that's pretty impressive. You know, it ain't the best numbers. It ain't eye-popping, but it is pretty impressive.
unanimous MVP, or if he's just the MVP, he probably becomes a Hall of Famer. Like, he probably already would be a Hall of Famer. Now, if, you know, next season, and I hate to even say something like this, but if next season he got hurt and was able to play but was never even, you know, close to the same player and played for another 8 years or so but never was the same. Oh,
Now I got a question for all the old schools. Now I know what the young people gonna say, but who was more dynamic, Lamar Jackson or Michael Vick? I don't know. Like you would have to see Michael Vick in his day. Like the boy was nasty. He was really unstoppable. You know, Lamar Jackson. You know, I believe with Lamar Jackson, we seen Barry Sanders in out the shotgun. I'm gonna be honest with you. We seen Barry Sanders in the pocket. I believe that Lamar Jackson, the way he makes people miss and the way he be juking, like that's Barry Sanders at the quarterback position.
okay, that could impact it. But I'll put it this way, Rob, if he wins the MVP, whether it's unanimous or not, if he retired or did suffer an injury where he couldn't play any longer after, say, next
That's
season,
my daughter.
he'd be a Hall of Famer.
God excuse him.
I think even without the Super Bowl ring, I mean, 2 MVPs, one of them, if not both of them, unanimous. The only ever to do it unanimous twice, he'd be it. Gale Sayers had a short career.
right.
And he's in.
I get it. And especially, I think the point you're making is a fair one because he would have done something no one has ever done in the
Right.
90-year history of the NFL, or what is it, 100 years, Chris? 100 and something
100 plus. Yeah, it was
100 plus
100
year
last year.
history. No one's ever done this, what he has done and accomplished. And I just want, like, Chris, I know people saw Brock Purdy, and I know there was talk about Dak Prescott. He had a hot month and, put up some incredible numbers, and his name came to the forefront. But I think people should really recognize what Lamar and the impact he has. I know it's not always about gaudy numbers. We always talk about,
Well,
I always
it's not,
say.
period, with him. I mean,
It's
his
just
numbers
not.
aren't gaudy.
Right, they're
Not
not
this
gaudy.
year.
No, they're not gaudy, and it's okay. And
They
Chris,
were gaudy his first MVP
yeah.
in his way. They weren't. He still didn't throw for even 4,000 yards, but they were gaudy in his way because he had to rush touchdowns. He had 36 passing touchdowns in not a ton of attempts. So his TD percentage was huge. So you're right. I will say this though. I may be wrong, and I'm throwing that out there. But I don't think it's going to be unanimous. I think Dak Prescott's going to get a few votes.
I think I don't.
We gotta look at defense. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people because they feel like that takes away from Lamar, but the man had a stout defense. They only allowed 15.5 points a game. Like, we gotta stop acting like he ain't have no defense. You know, I know a lot of people like to say they good. Nah, that's a great defense. Mike got the best linebacker in the league in Roquan Smith. So, does he deserve MVP? Yeah, he deserves it because he was the best player on the best team. Now, the real question is, did he really have legit competition? You know, like I say, a lot of the quarterback play this year was very mediocre. You know, at best. You know, I don't even think anybody passed over 40 touchdowns this season. I think Dak got close with, I think, 36. But I just wanted to put that out there.
I think Dak's performances, Chris, against the better teams, I think that hurts him. And
I
I'm
think
not-
that's a big reason why I feel Lamar is over him. I'll give you that.
Yeah, I mean, don't you think that like that? That's what makes Lamar.
Now that is true. Now he went in there and they whooped up on San Francisco and he looked good doing it. And then I think it was back to back. You know, they basically handed the Dolphins their ass. I think they beat them 56-21 or something like that. But that's what I wanted to share. Like, comment, subscribe. As you can see, my daughter getting loud in the background, so I ain't really got time to make this video any longer before she lose her mind. So like, comment, share, subscribe. Reality for the real. Coming back with more reaction videos. Peace.